What if I told you that to hit the drives of your life, you don't even have to look at the golf ball? Crazy, I know. Hi everyone, my name's James Robinson and welcome back to Get Good at Golf. On this channel, we aim to help you get good at golf just one day at a time, Monday right through to Friday. Guys, if you want bonus content, if you want giveaways, if you want extra videos, check out Sunday Club. That is a fresh video every Sunday for our Sunday Club members. But if you want to hit drives like this one, without even looking at the golf ball, which is something which not many people even think about. How good was that, by the way?
It's the first hit with that drive.
Yeah, guys, if you want to see why we're using a $30 R7 Super Quad TP here at Las Colinas in Dallas, then make sure you check out my main channel. But today we're talking about not looking at the golf ball to hit better golf shots. We're basically going to talk about low point. We've already done this with irons today, and we showed you that video yesterday. But so often, people think that the golf swing is the same throughout the bag for 14 clubs. Now, if you think that a driver swing is the same as a wedge swing, imagine if I had a ball position like this and I was going to hit down. The ball is still, I think it's just about got to the end of the tee, and that is not a drive that you want. So what happened with that low point? Whereabouts was it? Guys, get in the comments below, let us know where do you think that low point was and where do you think it should be. I'm going to tell you in 3 seconds when I put this golf ball back on another tee. 3, 2, 1. While you're down there, guys, throw us a like on this video if you're enjoying it. But the low point with driver wants to be before the ball. It wants to be pre-impact. But why is that? We've obviously got the ball teed up a couple of inches. We've got 9.5 degrees of loft on this driver, and I want my sternum behind that ball at impact. That's going to give me the ultimate launch conditions. It's going to give me the best spin conditions. It's going to give me the longest drive possible and straighter drives. Those two things shouldn't be in the same sentence, but they are. And that's because if the low point is pre-ball, my body is turning here and the club is never really rotating. It's never really turning too much. I'm not going to throw the hands at it. I'm not going to lead down into it. So I want to make sure that as I come through, that low point is pre-ball here, then starts working on the way up around the body, around the arc of the golf swing, and go nicely into that finishing position. So rather than looking at the ball, rather than looking in front of the ball like we might do with a wedge or with irons, we're actually going to look just behind the ball. I like to see people potentially move that ball position a little bit further forward, just get it a little bit more off your big toe, maybe a little bit like this. So if I have it just on my left big toe here, sorry the bag's in the way, but Chris will show you now, rather than having it here, because that's actually a big difference. If I have the ball position here with driver, it's just forward of centre, isn't it? But if I were to have it just inside that toe or just on that toe, that makes it way easier to get the low point in front of the ball. The low point isn't going to be in the middle. The low point isn't going to be in the middle of the stance. The low point's still going to be forward of centre, but not forward of the ball. So that's a really good way of getting your mind around that, a really good way of narrowing that low point down. If you want to look at something to give you a little visual aid, again, another T-peg might help. 2 T-pegs might be even better if you are a really, really visual person. That's generally where I want my low point. Then the driver starts to work up as it's rotating around the arc. So the club head's actually got a little bit more time to square up to your target, which means you can be a little bit more consistent with your drives. So we said we're going to get the best launch angle, we're going to get the best spin rate, and we're going to get the best face control. Nobody in your 4-ball is going to be able to cope with you if you do all those things with your driver. So I'm going to look just behind the ball. I might even start the driver at those tees, and from there I can hit really good high bombs with driver. Guys, Chris is now going to throw in some drills for you that can help you do this, help you maybe lower your spin rate, help you get squarer club face, and help you get good at golf.
So we're now talking how do we do this with a couple of drills that you can do to get feedback. And to get feedback, obviously we need to be setting up to this and we need to think about what is your ball like. So if you do this, if you start to think, right, I've got those tees, I do feel like I'm getting up on the golf ball, but what you're seeing is that ball is coming out a little bit to the right, not much speed in there, you don't feel like you're getting any more distance, and that could be because of what you're doing with your weight transfer. Once we move the ball position forward, like James says, what we see from a lot of people is they start to hang back. So they start to feel like, right, everybody's told me I need to angle behind the ball, I need to get really far back, and you might go to the extreme and start to hit that shot, which I haven't practiced that. That was a pretty good top for me. So That's not what we want to see. We're trying to hit up on it there. We've got too much because we haven't transferred our weight. All we've done there is we've moved the ball way forwards. We're going to be hitting up, but from back here, I'm not going to get any kind of strike. And you also see there, if we talk dynamic loft, that will have added a lot more loft onto that club face.
And coming back to what I was saying earlier, Chris, that's when your low point's in the centre, not forward of centre.
Exactly. So if we're trying to do that, because we've watched a lot of videos about thinking about angling back, that's what we can start to see. And if we hit up on the golf ball too much, we know that's going to happen. If we're adding too much loft, we're going to lose carry distance. And you might be somebody who says, do you know what, I hit my 3-wood further. I can easily get my 3-wood, I can get on there, not even hit it off the tee, and I feel like I'm a little bit more confident with that. Yeah, that's straight down the middle, that's launch perfect.
What a shot that is, by the way.
And that's straight off with a V steel.
And that, what was
forward.
that? Was that $25, $35 that was, for Ever Focuses.
That was $35, that was more than the driver actually. So, that's if you are somebody who does that, if somebody who resorts to your 3-wood because you're more confident, that's because you are hitting a little bit down on it, you are getting the right kind of angle of attack on that so you can get the ball going as far as possible. So once we've set up, if you do move your ball position forwards, and you're starting to hit shots weak and high to the right, then what I want you to think is, right, that means I'm too far up, my path's working left, and my face is open. All things that we don't want to hear. So what I want you to do is, when you've got that ball position nice and far forwards, is drop that right foot back and feel like you're a little bit closed at setup. If we're a little bit closed at setup, that's going to encourage us to be nice and shallow again, but the club is working up, it's working a little bit out to the right, and the face will be closed, and that's going to allow us then to be able to feel like, right, I can hit up on that golf ball and I can hit nice high draws there, and that's going to be able to get that golf ball working back towards the centre of the fairway. We can be nice and committed to that, and we can make sure we're not resorting to that 3-wood. So get that ball position nice and far forwards, drop the right foot back, and then from there, let's start to see you getting into that position and hitting nice big draws down the middle. Guys, now we need to think about where we can get feedback, what kind of drill. You can see that you've got your tees down, you feel like you're hitting
the towel, like the magic towel.
We're back to this elusive towel that we did have on yesterday's video. If you haven't seen that, yesterday we was talking about obviously hitting down into your irons. Now we're talking about hitting up, and a lot of times you will have a head cover, so what we want to do is get that now a driver head width in front of the ball, so a little bit further.
Would you go a little bit shallower there as well with it? It's a little bit high, that one?
Yeah, so it's a little bit higher. I wouldn't fold it as much. We can get that out depending. Again, a head cover is nicer because it's a little bit smaller. We can start to give yourself feedback now on, are you actually hitting up? You might be doing all these things, you might be feeling like you're angled back, you've closed your stance a little bit to get that draw, but you still might be coming over the top and hitting down on it. So here you can get into that position, get your set up, hit the shot.
What a shot that is!
And start to see that you're missing that towel, you're hitting up, you're lowering your spin, you're getting longer carries, and you are...
That's hit the back fence.
Getting good at golf.
Oh, what a shot!